Hello and welcome to Mystic Visions. This is a monthly reading for Pisces for the month of January 2021. Happy New Year. And this is a general reading. It's meant to apply more broadly across the entire month. And if you're looking for something more specific, check out my daily readings. In this reading, we'll be using my adaptation of the Celtic Cross, and I'll explain. Oops, I had one jump out. And I will explain the meaning of each card as I draw them. So please leave a message in the comments if you have any questions or you would like some clarification. I would also be very happy to draw a few additional cards to any subscribers to my channel. And just ask me in the comments if that's something that you feel like you would like. So, your first card jumped out, so we kept it. This is representative of your current situation. Then we have your crossing energy, or what's influencing you. This is what you're moving away from. This is what you're moving toward. This is the foundation. This is the crowning thoughts. Right here we have your advice, your current environment, your fears, and this is the overall message or the overall outcome. Okay, so your current situation is this Two of Wands. So Two of Wands is an energy of planning, of getting things figured out, deciding which way you're going to go. There's not a whole lot of action involved in this particular card. There is, of course, the potential for action, but it's really more the start of the journey. Before you've really taken your first step, you're sitting there considering where you might go, what you might do, and really trying to get a game plan before moving forward. What's crossing you here is this Hermit, and this is, an introspective energy. So, I think that what's being asked of you here is to kind of like turn inward and block out the noise a little bit and be true to yourself. Ask yourself, what do you really want? What's going to fulfill you in the long run? The Hermit is all about kind of like finding a path, knowing a path, and that's kind of interesting to be kind of crossing this Two of Wands energy, because Two of Wands is planning and everything. But the Hermit is more of asking you to look inward and see exactly what you want, or to incorporate into that planning, instead of all of the advice of others or that kind of thing, to really think about what's going to fulfill you in the long run, So what you're moving away from is this Ten of Wands in the reverse. So the Ten of Wands is a very over-encumbered, or like too much work, too busy, and that kind of thing. And so you're moving away from that type of an energy where you, pardon me, you're moving away from that type of over-encumbered energy, or more specifically, the resistance to that, because it's in the reverse. So it could be that you are taking on some additional projects or something like that, and you are willing to do a little bit more, and you're feeling like you have maybe a little bit of surplus energy to devote to something, and that's kind of the direction you're moving. Now, what you're moving toward is this Death card, and it's in the reverse, so there's like a resistance to a major change, or for things to be shaken up too much. Death card is all about, it ought to be called the Rebirth card, because it's really more about the rebirth than the death. The death is just how it looks before. And it's kind of like, you're maybe comfortable with the way things have been, and you are happy with the way things have been, but when you reach this point of death, it's like there's a complete change in the situation. Things are not the same as they were before, and it's not necessarily a bad transition. It's often so. It's not. It's a great thing. It's inevitable, and it's something that you have to go through. But it's in this case, you're moving toward a sort of resistance to that change. So It could be that the path that you're headed down here is going to lead you to maybe not feel like you're enjoying that change so much. So, you know, and I like to tell people, as far as the future goes, when I read, your future is not set in stone. You are the master of your destiny, not I. And I would never try to take that power from you. So the way that this generally works is when we look at the future, it kind of gives you a direction that you're headed. And if you don't like the direction, you're free to choose another direction. You're free to do something else. And don't get in your head too much about it, because if you're like, well, if I don't do what I was going to do, then that'll change my outcome or whatnot. It's not that complicated. It's really kind of straightforward. If you're not feeling like you like the energy that you're headed toward, or that you realize that you're headed toward, then you can simply change your direction. So, yeah, what you have in the future here is a little bit of not feeling like some major transition in your life is really working out too well. So the Three of Coins in your foundation, and it's also in the reverse. So Three of Coins represents a collaborative effort, or needing to work with others toward a common goal. And it often involves, you know, getting a paycheck or being paid for something, but relying on collaboration with other people. And in the foundation here, it's the whole situation here is brought about by the question of who do you not want to work with, essentially. So that's going to be a major deciding factor for you. There's going to be some people who you have a choice to collaborate with, and you're not going to feel like they have your best interest in mind. You're not going to feel collaborative. You're not going to work well as a team with those people. And then there's going to be others that you feel quite a bit more comfortable around. So when you make this choice that the Two of Wands is, you know, she's trying to narrow down her plan here. When you narrow down that plan, consider who you would and would not want to work with, because the Three of Coins in the reverse broadly signifies a lack of willingness to be a collaborative person here. So there's just somebody who you're not really feeling would be in your best interest to work with. Now, what's in your mind is this Empress. The Empress is very feminine, nurturing, caretaking energy. You know, you can see she has little eggs up in her hair. Well, I guess you can't see that because it's out of the frame, but she has little eggs up in her hair. And she is a nurturer. She is all about that feminine, mother-like energy, the mother archetype, and she is trying to take care of something that's important to her. And this is on your mind. You have this sort of nurturing energy, that there's something that you care about greatly that you're trying to move toward. So it's probably going to behoove you, when you're making these plans, to consider that as well. Consider that it's a big focus for you to have this sort of nurturing energy in your life. So that's going to be something that you're going to want to really focus on, and ask yourself, how do your plans coincide with that goal or that idea? And so you have, for your advice card, this is the Six of Wands in the reverse. And Six of Wands is really about accomplishment, victory, that kind of thing. And in the reverse, it's that you may feel like there's still some things that you need to accomplish, and you may feel like you have more to go, or you're not at the end of your road yet. So there may be some victories that you're looking to achieve. And so the advice here is to recognize, first of all, what you have already done, and recognize where you've been, and to really ask yourself, which of these things in life are really important to you? What are you trying to accomplish with your life? Instead of just sort of chasing after success for the sake of chasing after success, the idea here is to really more focus on what is going to fulfill you. And that's a very similar message also to this Hermit that's been crossing you here. So there's kind of a cohesive idea here. Now, what you have in your environment is this Eight of Coins in the reverse. Eight of Coins is very diligent energy, but in the reverse, of course, it's more of like not wanting to be diligent, or trying a little bit of laziness maybe. So this is your current environment. This is what's going on around you. This isn't necessarily you, or probably not you. In fact, this is more of the people that are surrounding you, or your community, or the people you work with. There's some laziness going on in the situation, and it may be grating on you a little bit. It may be causing you some frustration or something like that, but it also could be a wonderful opportunity for you to excel, because anytime there is laziness, there is always an opportunity for you to look better by not being lazy. So don't allow yourself to fall into the patterns of those around you that are not working diligently toward their goals. And we all have to recognize and acknowledge that we are influenceable. And even, when you think you're not, that's probably when you're the most influenceable. So you want to be careful with that, and, maintain a healthy distance from people who you recognize are bad influences to you. For your fears card, here is the Six of Coins in the reverse. And the Six of Coins is about helping and having charity and things like that. So it's a fear for you not to be able to help others, to be stuck in a situation where you need the help instead of having that access to be able to give to others. So really noble fear to have. It's about, wanting to be able to make the world a better place, wanting to leave your mark, and you don't want to be in a situation where you don't have the resources, the time, the money, or whatever it is. You don't want to be in a situation where you don't have that part of your life available to you. So something means quite a bit to you, and you're afraid of not being able to give to people, or maybe not people, but just in general. You're afraid of not devoting yourself to some cause or charity or something like that. You could also this also might be an indicator that you're afraid of having to rely on other people instead of the giving aspect. You're rejecting the idea of asking for help, something like that. That's an alternate meaning of that card. So the overall message, or where this heads in the long run, is the Three of Cups. So that indicates that there is an opportunity here for wonderful friendships, of having a tremendous sense of fellowship and good times and good emotions, and fulfillment, emotional fulfillment as well. The cups are about emotions and that kind of thing. So with this card, you can tell by looking at it, it's a very positive outcome where, maybe things aren't as awesome as they possibly could be, but at the same time, these people are grateful and satisfied and happy with the way that things are. They're in a celebratory mood. This is kind of, this reminds me of just like some good friends who are going out on the town and having a good time, and they're not, ravenously involved in some plot to overthrow the world. They're simply having a good time and enjoying life. And this is where you're kind of headed through making a good decision here in this situation, or planning effectively, we should say. That's what you're really looking for. So anyway, that's about it for your monthly reading for my Pisces friends. So please, again, let me know what you think in the comments, and if you do want some additional cards drawn for you, that's totally fine. As long as you subscribe to the channel, I'd be happy to do that for you. And I will see you guys tomorrow for the next daily reading. So have a good one.